Hey, friend. One thing I've found is that accidents happen at the worst time possible. But another thing I've found, lots of times people aren't surprised when an accident happens. They might be shocked, but they're not surprised. Let me explain. Hey, if you haven't already done so, you got to check out my OSHA audit checklist. This is the best way to prepare your team for an unexpected OSHA audit. Simply go to my website, Help with OSHA, helpwithosha.com. You can download a free OSHA audit checklist. This is the best way to prepare your company for an unexpected OSHA visit. And if you want to go deeper, I have an online course. It is well worth your time. It will show you exactly what you need to do to prevent OSHA from showing up at your company, but it will also show you what you need to do if you ever have an audit, how to respond to OSHA, how to do the informal conference, even how to negotiate and eliminate citations. So go to my website, helpwithosha.com. It's the best way to get your team prepared. Now, I want to talk about the question you need to ask at the next safety meeting. You see, there's one question that needs to be asked because what I found is oftentimes people are not surprised when an accident happens. The reason they're not surprised is because in the back of their mind, they already kind of thought, yeah, that's probably where it'll happen. They might not have said it out loud, but what they thought was, if we're going to have an accident, we're probably going to have it happen there. So it's your job to ask that question first. So the question is simply, how will an accident happen? You see, just yesterday, I was at a company doing a safety presentation. Brand new company, state-of-the-art facility. This place was beautiful. They'd only been open for a couple years. Their conference room looked like something, I don't know, out of the White House or something. It looked so nice. And when I went in there, it was obvious that the managers were experienced, that they were comfortable with each other, that they had a great culture as an organization. But when I started diving into safety, I asked a question that I ask all the time. I said, how's somebody going to get hurt here? And I had people kind of think about it. And then I said, you know what? Grab a piece of paper. I want you to write down something. Let's just imagine that you come into work tomorrow and somebody has had a serious accident. What happened? I want you to write down two scenarios that when you came in and somebody was describing the accident, I want you to describe what happened. And what I found was astounding. I went up to the whiteboard and I started jotting down what they wrote down. And out of the 7 managers in the room, 4 of them said the same thing. Now that is an eye-opening experience because that's where we need to start. You see, sometimes people get overwhelmed because they feel like, oh, there's so many things with safety we need to do. The purpose of safety is simply to prevent people from getting hurt. So if you think, hey, how would somebody get hurt? That's a great place to start. So I like to use these questions to help understand exactly where we need to start. The first question I use is the question I just asked. When you come in, where is the accident going to happen? And from there, I want to know where. Where at the facility? Which department? Which work area? Where? A physical location. So ask that. Put it on the whiteboard. Have people explain, this is where I think it's going to happen. It's going to happen in the warehouse. It's going to happen outside. It's going to happen when we're moving product down the hall to get to the warehouse. It's going to happen in this room where the machines are missing guarding. Whatever it is, write down where it's going to happen. From there, I want to know how. And the best way to do this is not to be theoretical. We're not trying to give, oh, well, it could be this, it could be that. No, I want you to go there in your brain and think, if I come in tomorrow and somebody told me that there's been a serious accident, where would it happen and how would it happen? And then they'll go, somebody's going to get hit by a forklift. Yep, we got too many pedestrians walking through the warehouse. We've got an area in the warehouse that's really, high traffic. And I'm not talking about powered industrial trucks. I'm talking about people. A lot of people walking through there. Nobody's wearing a high-vis vest. Forklifts aren't honking their horns. It's going to happen because somebody's going to get hit by a forklift. So that's an example of, okay, we got where it's going to happen. We got how it's going to happen. And the next thought is, what's going to happen? And you might think, okay, well, the operator is going to come around the corner and they don't see the person and the person's on their cell phone and then they hit them. Now, what I've just outlined is several things. This is just a scenario, but we got several problems. One, we said people aren't honking their horns, right? We got people that aren't wearing high visibility vests, so they're hard to see. Maybe there's a lighting issue in the area. We got people on their phones, and we got people walking through a high traffic area. So we've got a blending of lifts and people. Yeah, that's a recipe for disaster. Now, here's another question. When is it going to happen? And what I mean is, think about what shift. Is this going to be first shift or second shift? And what season? Some companies, your company might be one of these. Some companies have a busy season where, they're slower in March, April, May, but man, by the time it gets to August, September, October, they are wide open. If somebody's going to get hurt, it's going to be in our busy season. Or it could be the opposite. You could say, when we're busy, man, everybody knows what they're doing. They're doing their job. They're jamming. If somebody's going to get hurt, it's going to be when we're not busy and they start goofing off and being lazy and doing things they shouldn't be doing. That's when people, we see horseplay. We see these things happen. Oh, man, we're pulling out things that really make a difference in a safety meeting, because they're things that we can talk about and they're things we can fix. And now the last thing I'm going to ask is, who are we talking about? And I got the word, or the acronym JSA, a job safety analysis, orientation, training, equipment. Are we providing the right level of training? Are we giving that employee the tools they need to do their job? Are we setting the expectations for safety where they need to be? So when something goes wrong and people aren't surprised, right? When they're not surprised, it's usually because they already kind of thought it was going to happen. It's the worst thing in the world. What you can do, and you can do this today, the next meeting you have, ask that question: how's somebody going to get hurt around here? Do the exercise where they get out a piece of paper and they write down 2 or 3 ways somebody would get hurt. It's important that they do that individually, because when they do that individually, they're thinking. And then we pull it into the group context and have them do it as a group, because when they do it as a group, then they start bouncing ideas off each other. We are not trying to get anyone to blame people. Be like, oh man, Eddie in the warehouse, that guy's never safe. I can't stand Eddie. That has nothing to do with the fact he's not safe. We need to get him safe. We need to make sure his people are safe. We need to put some safety accountability built in to where the expectation is here, and we're going to follow up and make sure it's being done. But when you're doing the exercise, drilling down, I want to know, if somebody gets hurt, what happened? I want to know, how's it going to happen? I want to know, where's it going to happen? I want to know who is involved. And ultimately, the last one is the big one, and that's why. Why did it happen? Why did it happen? Why did it happen? It happened because we didn't fix the problem when we recognized the problem, because we thought it was somebody else's problem. Safety is everyone's responsibility, but you, as the person wearing the hat for safety, even if you're wearing lots of other hats, it's your job to get these conversations going and communicate. And then you can put some action steps. This is what we need to do. You know what? By next Tuesday, I want to make sure that we got proper signage up. Authorized employees only. I want to make sure we got some high visibility vests. I want to make sure that we have retrained employees to honk their horn when they're going through certain areas. I want to put up some signage to help them with that. I want to set the expectations and let your managers know what they are so that we can make it better. What I've discovered, I have yet to be in a company where people want to see someone get hurt. It just doesn't happen. But oftentimes, companies that have a lax safety program, it's because they think, well, people just need to be more careful. The truth is, when you have a lax safety program, it really means that you just haven't invested the time to fix the problems. Let's do that today. Let's fix the problems. And that question right there, that's one of the best questions you can ask. How is someone going to get hurt? It doesn't prevent people from getting hurt if we don't talk about it. It just makes it more likely to happen. So let's talk about it. And until we talk again, do everything you can to keep the people you work with safe, because no one should get hurt at work.